Hi, this is St. Raz, and welcome everyone to Cajun Coding. This is our first cast. Just to take a few minutes to let you guys know what Cajun Coding is and what it's for. This is a YouTube channel that I created in order to give back a little bit to the community and help folks who are interested in learning about programming and how to program computers. Now, I am by profession and by training a computer programmer. I work for a large company. I don't tend to give out a lot of personal information or information about my employers, just as a matter of professionalism and privacy. But I do work as a computer programmer, and this is kind of a way to give back and also to encourage other people to get into computer programming. Computer programming is kind of unusual when you compare it to other professions or trades, in that the regulatory and the credential barriers to entry are much lower with computer programming than with a lot of other professions. You don't have to have a certificate, you don't have to have a degree. The hiring process for computer programmers is very much driven by qualifications, not by credentials. A credential, a degree, a certificate, a piece of paper, the green light from an organization is the way you get most jobs, whereas computer programming employers for the most part are not interested in all that documentation. They want to know what you can do. If you can actually do the work, if you can produce good code, then they don't care so much about all your credentials and accolades. Now, that's not to say there are no barriers to entry, and that's one of the reasons that I created this series. There are cognitive barriers to entry. You have to get to the point where you actually do have those qualifications. You have to be able to do the work. So there are cognitive barriers to entry. You have to learn how to do what the job requires. And one of those barriers that you'll find is that language can be a barrier to some folks. The English language is extremely important globally for programming because the vast majority of the scholarship and documentation, technical specifications and such are all in English. So if you actually understand English well enough to make sense of what I'm saying here, you're not starting at zero. You already have a leg up. Now, one of the things that I found that was noticeable when I was doing a lot of self-study and looking at YouTube channels and such to find examples and instruction and commentary on programming was that there is a large contingent of South Asians, English-speaking South Asians, that produce a lot of content out there. I don't know where I would be. Certainly wouldn't be where I am now without all the Indian YouTubers out there that are providing commentary and instruction. Very, very grateful to those guys and gals for that. That does present a challenge to some people. English being spoken by hundreds of millions of people worldwide, but not spoken in the exact same way. Some folks have trouble with certain accents, and I found myself asking one day on YouTube, it's like, why don't we have some southern guy, why don't we have some redneck giving his commentary about this stuff? Yeah, I have trouble understanding some of these folks sometimes. And I got to the point where I had enough skill and I made some contacts and I actually got a job. And now I ask, well, maybe I can be part of the solution. As Mohandas Gandhi said, we must be the change that we wish to see in the world. So if you've been poking around YouTube and you're finding instruction but you can't make sense of it because you're not familiar with certain accents or modes of speech, and you're wishing there was some redneck out there to help you make sense of programming, and you're tuning in from the Redneck Riviera, maybe this is the channel for you. So hopefully I can be of some assistance, and certainly hope that it helps some folks out. Like the channel, subscribe, refer your friends to it. Hope I can help out. If you have any questions or comments, and I'd certainly be happy to see those as well. We're going to be getting started on the next video We're going to be starting with Java at a site called CodingBat, and we'll just take it from there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye-bye.